Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with a retro review, and today we're taking a look at the Killer Bee from Revell's Blacktop Warrior series released in 2001. And for those of you who aren't familiar with this series, there were 3 kits released: Killer Bee, Alley Rat, and Pink Poison, aka Mr. Dead Wrench, and the idea of them was for Revell to take existing toolings, add some post-apocalyptic box art and decals, and create a story that was kind of based on whatever scary news items were happening at the time. So, taking a look at it, in this case, you got the story here on the side of the box. It is the year 2012. A terrible disease carried by killer bees from below the equator has decimated the population of the Earth. Only the strong have survived. The surface of the planet has become a very harsh place, and in order to navigate it, the survivors must adapt their everyday vehicles. The vehicles and fuel to power them have become precious commodities. As a result, cars and trucks have taken on a very different attitude. These are the Blacktop Warriors. So, yeah, there you go. We got the Killer Bee box art with the post-apocalyptic wasteland. And we've got that repeated on both ends of the box. And on the side here, we've got the alternate views of the engine and the top of it. Nothing on the bottom of the box, as was customary at the time. And taking a look at the kit itself, we'll start with the instructions. And in this case, the Killer Bee was based on the Baja chopper that was first released back in the 70s. So other than this bit here, a repeat of what was going on the side of the box, and the decal placement guide, this is the Baja chopper. So, just taking a quick look. It's really pretty basic exploded diagrams. This is a non-stapled pamphlet. Okay. Not much to those. Decal sheet. We've got our skulls and crossbones, the honeycomb for the front of the car, some bullet holes, the killer bees for over the doors, the windows, which they give you some weathering to go on. You got all the stripes here for around the back of the car, the eyeballs for the lights, and then they give you a few road signs that they can be cut out and glued to posts or used as part of the car, whatever you like. Just kind of a neat addition there. The kit chrome, it's okay. It's not brilliant. It was during a time when standards were not what they were now. So you can see there's quite a bit of flash right there. And you can kind of see that it's not a very smooth surface. It's not exactly pitted. It's just rough. So, best thing for all of this, you got lights, door handles, more lights, the air cleaners here. Best thing to do is strip it entirely and either paint or replate it. And for this, I'm probably going to be doing it all in matte colors. Might do a little detail here or there with the Malto chrome, but other than that, that's going to be stripped entirely. You got the glass, which it's nice and clean, but again, we got a fair amount of flash here. Lights definitely need quite a bit of cleanup right there. So it's usable, but it needs some work. Not too bad though. You got the body, which this is a cool little item. You got the canvas front here, the bobbed fenders, got an open sunroof on it, And detailing is actually pretty good here. Not too much flash. Got a little piece right here on the front. You got to take this out the rear window. But a couple of little parting seams there. Otherwise, not bad. You could clean this up pretty easily. The brakes around the doors and the trim is all pretty sharp. Don't really need to do a whole lot of work on those. And it does have separate door handles, separate mirror, separate lights. Got the holes back here for the air cleaner. So body is actually a pretty neat looking little piece here. Here we've got the first main sprue piece. We've got the rear seat, the underside of the cargo area, the two bulkheads, wheels, rear end, the front seats. And these look pretty good. You can see they've got some nice detailing on the seats with an actual cloth pattern. A little bit of flash there that's going to need to be cleaned up, but really not too bad. Compared to the chrome sprue, this one looks pretty good. Got some more texturing there. And on the rear seat. Yeah. Parts actually look pretty good. The next sprue, we've got the two custom bucket seats, and you can see there's quite a bit more flash on this. But again, the patterns actually look pretty clean, and that should be something that could be cleaned up without too much effort. You got the roll bar, more of the structural components. You got the center spine. You got the intakes and the exhausts. And the intakes, they've got some flash, and they've got a parting seam right up the middle there. So those will need some work, if not outright replacement. That might be something where I'll cut it off right here and just make myself new hoses. And for the last sprue, we've got the chassis, front suspension, the rearmost bulkhead, dashboard, and the engine components. Got some suspension down here, and this is probably the worst sprue as far as flash goes. You can see there's quite a bit here on the belt, and a lot on that front suspension piece. So that's unfortunate. That's going to need quite a bit of cleanup work. But the actual detailing, like on the chassis pan here, you got some wiring there on the rear bulkhead. That looks pretty decent. The dashboard also looks pretty good. Actually has numbers on the gauge face. And a glove box door there. There's that. And then the last thing is we got some tires. You got two rears and two fronts. And as you can see, these are the style where you're supposed to glue the two halves of the tire together and sand off the seam, which personally I hate. I don't like this style tire. They never look quite right, and so I'm not going to be using those at all. I'm actually going to be upgrading it quite a bit, using a set of paddle tires and front runners from B&L Resin. And this is really the main place where I'm going to deviate from the kit. Otherwise, I plan on building it more or less box stock, maybe better said box art stock. Because my plan is to build this as part of the Bug Bash, which is happening on the Custom and Fantasy Show Car Scale Model Kit Facebook group. And so I'm going to be taking the theme that the box art and Revell came up with and just kind of doing it up a little bit better than what the box parts are capable of. So this is kind of my end goal right here. But I'm going to be doing things like better tires. I'll put actual bullet holes in it rather than rely on the decals. Do a little bit different job with the weathering. Like I might mist these stripes on so they look like they were done with a rattle can instead of nicely masked off and painted. But we'll see. So, if you want to follow along, come check out the Facebook group, because I'm going to be posting some updates on this in the near future. And if you like the review of this, let me know. I will post reviews of the other two in this series, and we can take a closer look at them as well. Thanks for watching.